Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Chai Tea Podcast. I'm Arcena, and joining me as always is Time to Feel Alive, also known as Sam.
Hello, hello. How are we today?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. I have just finished my 1-star collection across all of the sets, other than the current set. I'm missing one card from that, which is still Pheromosa. But otherwise, got them all sorted. And I also got those extra, like when you finish the set, you get the hidden challenge thing, the hidden task. I got like what 12 extra hourglasses from that. In fact, I got 24 extra pack hourglasses because I did finish two of them. And then I also got like 36 Wonder Pick hourglasses, and then another 36. So I got 72 extra Wonder Pick hourglasses. So I was buzzing off that. So yeah, I'm in a good place with my collections. Just need to get like a bunch of like um, duplicates sorted out. So I've got a bunch of free diamonds that I've got one of that I need to finish, and then just two diamonds that I need to get two more of, and then I'm in a great place with my collection.
Yeah,
How
same
about you?
here. I managed to finish my collection despite being the person with five Alolan Duck Trio EXs. Uh, I got lucky with the Wonder Picks because we've spoken about this where I had the bad Wonder Pick luck where I wasn't able to pick well. Even when I had like the sneak peek and everything where I got a 50-50 chance if we messed it up. But I
Hmm.
managed to get myself a Lycanroc from Wonder Picks, Tapu Koko from Wonder Picks. I managed to Wonder Pick a Buzzwole and a Guzzlord. So despite not managing to pack any of those EXs, I managed to Wonder Pick them all. And I'm also done with it. I'm also missing a few duplicates. I think I've got one three diamond card missing, the jellyfish Pokemon. I'm not going to say the name again, and a couple of two diamonds and one diamond. But the rest, I think I'm pretty much sorted.
Perfect. We love to hear it. I need one more. I'm going to try and say it. Nihilego for
Yeah.
the coin that you get in
Oh, I think
the
they is
tasks.
that like five, four, five.
Yeah, five of them.
Yeah,
Exactly. So I
yeah,
need one more of those for that, and then obviously we've got the event coming soon for that, so that should help.
yeah.
And then I think I only needed one to pick for an EX card, which was Lycanroc, and I got that just after Sneak Peek ended. And
I think I had the same luck with what's his face, Guzzlord. Uh,
yeah,
Throughout the Wonder Pick, I think the sneak peek event was like 7 8 days. Didn't see a single Guzzlord. The day after it ended, I got myself the Guzzlord EX, which is crazy because
yeah,
I didn't think I wanted to pick it, but I got it and I'm not complaining.
it's so weird. I don't know. Sneak Peek was weird for me because I was looking for a second Guzzlord during Sneak Peek, and
To be
I
fair
think like
though,
the last day there was a Guzzlord, and that was like one of the first, maybe the third one I'd seen during the whole event. And I said, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just open my pack first and see what I get." I got a rainbow freaking Guzzlord in that pack, so I didn't need it anymore.
oh yeah, that is what you call, I guess, luck in the right way. I guess you got the two star rainbow. But like I
Yeah,
said, to be fair, I enjoy the sneak peek event, especially when they do put it out. You get the most value out of it, like right when the set drops.
yeah, for sure. And like the problem I have with it is, I think as a community as a whole, I'm pretty sure the consensus is, why not just have sneak peek work for every single wonder pick you do during the sneak peek event? That would be quite nice. I
It
mean, I don't know
would,
why.
it would, but do you know how we can't trade most recent sets because they want us to open the packs? If we're going
Yeah,
to have, so as it is a 20% chance at a wonder pick, with a sneak peek, you get, is that what, 20 becomes 25? One in four chances now instead of one in five chances. I don't think they want that.
yeah.
They want you to try to open as many packs as possible, right?
No, obviously,
Yeah.
obviously that is like their aim, but just as a nicety to the community, they could just let us have that like a little bit of extra luck with sneak peeks. I don't know. It would be nice, but I can see why they don't.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I like that. That is my favorite event, just mainly because I've been so unlucky with the way my pack luck has been going. Like five Alolan Duck Trio EXs. It's the only I
It's
I
just
think
ridiculous.
I think I packed a second Lycan Rock EX, I'm pretty sure, but that was after I Wonder picked my first one. So I love the sneak
Wonder
peek.
picking.
Yeah.
Wonder picking like every freaking EX other than Alone and Doug Trio is wild. That is insane luck, I'm not gonna lie.
It is good luck, but at the same time, I wouldn't need that luck if my pack luck was just even slightly better. Like, just instead of the 5 Alone and Duck Trio EXs, give me 3 and then 2 of something else. That is still, I wouldn't have to Wonder pick 4, right? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I think your luck just channeled into Wonder picks, and you got to take that. You got to take that win.
I had the same luck with Celestial Guardians. I think I would have the set list in front of me, but not Celestial Guardians. What was the one that Giratina was out in? Um,
Shining Revelry.
yeah, Shining Revelry. I had to Wonder pick a lot of my EXs. Actually, even Celestial Guardians, is that the one that had Incineroar? Right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I had to Wonder pick a lot of my EXs from that event as well. So I am a firm believer in Sneak Peek. I love it. I like when they put it up. It's so good for me because my pack luck is atrocious.
Yeah, I am gonna just hoard my hourglasses till the next sneak peek event because I don't really have anything I need to pick other than
The seconds of
one
everything.
star Pheromosa, and
Yeah.
that's it.
I wa-
I'm gonna trade for the rest.
I also wonder picked Silvally as well. A 1 star finished my collection.
Nice, nice.
What other events do we enjoy besides I mean, for me at least, Sneak Peek. I think the other events that we have is the solo battling with the promo packs. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
those are fun. Again, another one of those things that the community as a whole has come to a consensus on is it would be nice to be able to open all of the packs that you get from it at the same time, but that's just a small complaint. Um, the battles themselves, they can be interesting. Sometimes I prefer it when it's a bit more difficult and you actually have to build a deck to beat it. Most of the time, it's just oh, here's my freaking Blaine deck. It can still beat this. There you go. No worries. They are fun though. It's a little something extra to do. I don't mind them.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure, that is. I do enjoy it because I think what I do, my current routine is uh, start the day when I'm ready to play. Get out. I think you get two. I know you don't use all your hourglasses. I use all my hourglasses because I like to open all the packs and get as many extra copies as I can get. But my routine is get up or not get up, open the game, get ready for my rank session, and how it's not exactly a warm up because rank is a completely different ball game from solo, let alone unranked. Even solo, right, is so much more different. But the
Yeah.
deck of the day or a deck I want to like get a feel of just to know what cards I have. I run them in the 2 solo battles that they give you per day because they refresh it for you 12 hourly, I think,
Okay.
and that's how I start my day. I do that for like about half an hour, open my packs of the day, send out all my thanks. Very important. Send thanks to everybody, by the way, by liking the
Yes. Yeah.
showcases.
Got to thank everybody for
Yep.
sure.
And then I start my grind session for the evening.
That's interesting because I don't think I've ever really used the solo events for testing out decks. I'm just an auto battler with those. I just chuck it on and then get to work doing something else and then check if it wins or not.
I use the word test liberally. It's not a real like testing out. Oh my god, this is exactly how this deck is gonna go. For me, it's just to get used to the deck and what the 20 cards are off the top of my head. I
Okay,
don't
getting a feel for it.
Yeah, I don't think it helps me get any better with the deck or ever tell me if the deck is lacking on something or not because sometimes the AI makes questionable decisions.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
questionable.
yeah,
Most of my losses when I auto battle is because I'll look down at the AI and it's just putting freaking energy on my bench when my active mon needs it. I'm like, why?
yeah.
What
I
are you
mean,
doing,
I
AI?
have no idea what they're thinking of there, right?
Yeah, it's very strange. No, I like solo. It's a good little addition. Can't
And
complain.
the other events that I can think of is the current event right now. I think it started this morning. The Chansey Pick Wonder Pick, where they give you 2 promo cards plus a bunch of other things that you can buy in the shop. I feel like that's a collector event. It's not really It's not a battling event. Like at least Sneak Peek was collector, but it's also for the battler in you when you want to get your second copy of an EX. Solo battling is
Yep.
for the battler in you. This Wonder Pick is mainly just pretty cards and pretty accessories for the collection aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean the best like you can get is maybe one of the cards that they're going to show in the Wonder Picks is something you can put into a deck you're using. Like this one has Stuffle and or Stoofle, however you want to say it, and Poipole. Poipole kind of usable, so you can use the promo Poipole. Stuffle is I don't think I've seen anyone playing Beware.
You know, it's funny
So
you mentioned that with the cards you need to put your deck in, right? I think the last one, I'm not sure if this is the last one, the one before that, was the Lycanroc and Cosmog one. Both very, very useful for your decks. But
mhm.
that Cosmog event is the way I got my 2 copies of that Lycanroc 3 Diamond non promo. I could not pack it, and I ended up getting, I think, I definitely got 2. I don't know how much I ended up with in after that event had ended.
Yeah, I mean I wish it was the Dusk Lycanroc that they put in that event because that one's actually like kind of usable, whereas the other one's
I think they did that on
half usable.
purpose. They did that on
Yeah,
purpose, right? Of course.
exactly.
Uh,
Nah, so it's another nice addition. Any extra content is always good, right?
yeah, it gives you something to do every day. Like it's part of your daily routine. Uh, the other event, I think this covers all the events. I might be missing one or two, but I think they call it the Mass Outbreak event. I think the one we're getting shortly is the Ultra Beast one. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think Mass Outbreak is just a lot of a particular whatever the featured type is. I've used it mainly. So I think for the last 2 or 3 one Mass Outbreak events, my missing EX has generally been the featured EX. I think I missed Leafeon EX when that was an event, and then I was able to get grabbed that. I can't remember what the last one was, but yeah,
No, I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, but you've been so lucky with that. Just like getting the last like EX you've needed has been the event every time.
yeah, definitely. I think it was Leafeon and then Guzzlord this time. I don't
Yep.
remember what the previous one was off the top of my head, but yeah, I
No, I
like
can't think of it.
I've just been yeah, and also I'm somebody who likes the completion aspect. So even if I have 2, I like to get the third EX to flare it down because the limited time flare. I
No, true.
I don't flare any of my cards by the way because with Shine Dust being I think it's good. Shine Dust is going to become more and more relevant with all the trading changes. So I don't flare my cards unnecessarily, but I would love to get the because it's exclusive, right? I feel like
Yeah.
you don't want to miss out on the flare, and I'm not much of a flare guy myself. But I think
No.
the only flare I might have missed would be the Leafeon one. I think.
Ah, rip. Was the last event? But was the other one Lunala? I want to say no.
Um, could be, yeah,
Could be. All right.
yeah. I'm not
Well, it
sure.
doesn't really matter anyway. I,
Nah.
I I will say the one negative with the like Wonder Pick and the mass outbreak events is it does mean that you've got to be paying a lot more attention. Like you need to be going back into the app like systematically throughout the day. And if you don't have time to do that, you can sometimes miss out on the things you need from those events. But I mean, that's just a small complaint. I was like, oh no, you have to play the game more. Ooh. But
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
funny. I think
that's the
I've
only
had the
issue I
same
have.
thing as you, right? Because you know how I do like start my routine and use up the 2 hourglasses. So I think that when it resets for me is early morning, and I think with the Alolan Ninetales solo battle event, I had saved up those 2 hourglasses to do it. So I think generally post around in the evening time is when I open up the app to do my dailies and whatever. And because the Alolan event, sorry, the Ninetales drop event or solo battling event ends earlier, I ended up missing out on 2 extra packs, but that's just I already got 2 of everything. It was just a little bit more for more stuff, so I didn't really lose too much. I think you've had a similar experience with the battling event where you like you want to perfectly time when you do stuff, and then you end up missing out on the
Yep.
saved hourglass.
Just completely blanking and forgetting to do it. Like I think I used the only time that I've used like a solo hourglass thing, or whatever it is I think it was during the Ninetales one, and I'd set it up so I had 19 of for the task, and then I forgot to do the last one on that night and missed out on 5 hourglasses, which is a small, tiny amount, but it was really frustrating at the time.
Yeah, no, for sure, right? You could be like, oh, I really, really wanted to get that. It's just like 19 of 20, you just want that extra thing. Was that
I
five
know.
Wonder Pick hourglasses? And that can go a long way.
The fact
That's,
that I'd set it up like so perfectly and then
yeah, no,
just
for
forgot
sure.
to do it, I was just like, oh,
For
what an
sure, for
idiot.
sure. That I think that does it with the events. Have I missed out any other events that we like? I'm sure there's probably something that I've missed, but those are like the major four or five. I can't remember how many we went over.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of more things that we enjoy, you enjoy off meta decks.
Yes, and I have been building several during this season of ranked. Not really having too much time to play them. Work has been a bit stressful this month. They've been overloading me with a few bits, and usually when I've got a little bit of break with work, I'll play a bit of ranked, maybe like 1 or 2 matches, then get back to work. But I just haven't had time to do that this month. I've also the Switch 2 came out,
Yeah.
which we haven't really. We won't get into that. That's a whole other kettle of fish. But I've been playing Mario Kart World, which is in the evenings when I'm sat in bed. When I would usually be playing ranked, I've been playing Mario Kart. So haven't had too much time to play. But when I have, I've been playing these silly off meta decks that I've
Let's
sent you
get
a bunch of them.
Let's get the first one up, shall we? I have not looked at them. Like, I did store the images so we can put them up on the screen. But you guys looking at this for the first time, I'm also looking at it for the first time. I'm going to react to it. I'm going to be as brutal as possible on how ridiculous these decks are. And then we're going to get a feel for it and see how they do. So the first one I have up here is called Ape. Nice and simple.
Yes.
Uh,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
let's quickly look at it. It's basically Soul Nautic with a Chimchar, right?
Yeah. Pretty
It,
much.
it's I think it's basically exactly the same thing. And you've just replaced the entire Solgaleo line with Infernape. Now, because I think the five supporters in the bottom are also the five supporters that I run in my Soul Nautic deck. Um,
For real.
I think so. I could be wrong, but there's a Sabrina, there's a Cyrus, there's a Lily, Mars, and Red. Those are the five because I remember going through the Soul Nordic deck list in my head, and I realized that those five supporters in the bottom row are the only five supporters that are interchangeable, and that's the only point of difference in the deck. So I think it's the same five. Um, I don't know how this works because let's say you start Shinotic, how are you getting it out of there? I think in this deck is reverse Solgaleo because in Solgaleo you want to start your Morlul and then you want to push your Solgaleo in. In this case, I feel like you want to start your Infernape, power it on a curve, and then lose all your energy, and then build and then sack a Shinotic. I mean, you can tell me how this works. That's how I'm wrapping my head around it. But go ahead, tell us how
No,
this deck works.
you've pretty much got the gist of it. I mean, to be fair, if I start off with Morlul, I probably wouldn't evolve it into Shinotic straight away. I'd want to retreat using the one retreat from Morlul. I mean, obviously you're losing the fire energy doing that, but and then you lose out on the ability of Shinotic to draw more cards. But hopefully you've got a Chimchar at that point. I don't know. It's yeah. I was trying to think of like other ways to use Shinotic because everybody's using Shinotic and Solgaleo. So I wanted to try maybe something that could even counter Solgaleo. And I thought, well, fire type. So I think you got Incineroar, Charizard again, and then I thought no one is using Infernape. I haven't used Infernape. I really like Infernape. The zero retreat cost is kind of fun. So I gave it a go. I think I played about like 6 matches of this, so not many.
Yeah. And how did
And
you
the
do
way
with
you've
it?
described it, the
How
way
did
you've
you do with
described
it?
it is pretty much how my matches went. I would draw Morlul a couple times and then be like, "Well, I lose." Um, there was one match I had that was really fun. It was against like a dark deck with Guzzlord and Nihilego and all that, and Naganadel, and I had like my Infernape in the active spot, managed to take out one of his mons, then retreated into another Infernape with a Shinotic on the bench, got like already had a fire energy on it, so I took out 2 of his mons of that. But then his like entire bench was full at this point, and his Guzzlord was getting powered up because I'd already burnt loads of energy, so I didn't have any energy on my side, which wasn't bad because Guzzlord couldn't get rid of any with its grind core, but it was almost set up anyway to do 120 damage, so it didn't matter. But so I'm trying to like power up Shiinotic on the bench so that I can do a little bit of chippy damage to then take it out with Infernape, and it was just a lot of shifting and moving, which I quite enjoy. But in the end, I did lose because I just didn't have enough energy to put onto things, and they had their Guzzlord set up, so I was just burning energy is just not the one. To be honest, with this deck, I'm thinking I might just switch out Infernape for Charizard.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe Shining Revelry Charizard.
That's quite a popular pick, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to try making Infernape work, and I thought Shiinotic could be the answer to it. But yeah, the 2-star retreat for Shiinotic is just, it's kind of meh.
Yeah.
In this deck.
Speaking of cards that are doing well that you want to try out, I am inclined to say, do we get it up now? Yeah, there we go. I am inclined to say that this Pokemon is your favorite Pokemon that has been released in this set. A Pokemon by the name of Silvally or Silvally.
Silvally. Yeah, Silvally. I mean, I found it so hard to not build a deck around this thing. It's so powerful. You see it everywhere in the meta for a reason. Like 100 damage, and just for using a supporter. You're using supporters most turns anyway. It's insane. Colorless energy. I think I've been over this so many times. I've been trying to find a way to use it that people haven't really
thought about
been doing.
Yeah,
haven't thought about.
But I think every you know how what expansion was it? Space Time Smackdown was where every other deck just had add Magnezone. Oh, add Magnezone. Yeah. I feel like Silvally is Magnezone, but maybe better because you can pull it out directly. Like you can start null and then pretty much guarantee a Silvally turn 2 with double Gladions. You definitely have a Silvally.
So, yeah, like Gladion again is another thing that makes Silvally so powerful. For me, I would compare this more to, funnily enough, Arceus. You know, the mon that this thing is like based off of, right? In the lore of the games, because colorless energy, it could go into so many different decks. Granted, Arceus, you needed to build kind of around Arceus and mons that worked with it, but you could also just throw Arceus into anything, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
So yeah, this version of this deck, I played this on stream and I had a bad time.
Yeah, no, he went first 8 times in a row.
I think it was 8 times in a row.
And then when he went second, he lost. So he decided that this is not for him. But you know, we like someone who tries. It's giving us off meta decks to talk about because you know me, I have tried. I'll get to it in a second. But this is a little bit of a sneak peek for what's to come. I've only tried 3 decks in this ranked season. I'm happy sticking to my 3 and getting the wins. We have Sam for precisely for decks like this. I'll show you another one really quickly then.
We have me for doing the complete opposite. But just before we move off of this deck, it's not good. Buzzwole and Silvally do not pair well together. I wouldn't recommend it.
All right, next up, I've got this one. It's called Crab. Okay, surprise, Crab Valley again. Okay, let's see.
Living in the Crab Valley. So this one I built
Crabominable
because
was your favorite card to be released in the previous. Is this previous expansion or 2 expansions ago? Where
this is the last expansion. I wouldn't say it was my favorite from that set, but it was one of my.
You built the deck straight out of it day 1, and I was like, oh, off meta again. But like,
well, that was because like day 1 last season, I drew 2 Crabominables pretty much. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm using this guy.
I think this is basically this. So I think the problem you'll struggle with this deck is, I guess if you start Crab, I mean you have a leaf for that reason where you could pull it out if you start Crab. What do you want to start in this deck? I think you start Null. You want to get rid of 2 Silvallies, but then again, by the time you get rid of 2 Silvallies, your opponent's already got, if you're lucky, 2 energy 3 energy on the bench. Crabominable comes in late game and only does 40 when your opponents could do 120, especially if running Soul Nautic, right? 120
Oh
and
yeah,
swings. So like,
Solgaleo just womps this deck.
yeah, let me know if I'm missing something. I can't see this. Obviously, it's off meta for a reason, but I think this is not just off meta. I think it's worse than the Buzzwole deck.
I have had more fun with this deck than the Buzzwole deck. So my thought process into making this is, one, you've got a fighting card in there to help you do a little bit more damage to type nulls and Silvallies. Then you can go into Crabominable, and you only need 1 energy to power that bad boy up. It's got a nice big bit of health in 160, so it's not getting one shot by um, Silvally itself. So that's kind of cool. And then also, I was seeing a ton of fire decks in the meta. So this, if you've got what's it called? What's Crabominable's attack called? I can't remember. But if you've got that going, you can one shot a Blacephion if that comes in with another Silvally deck. And I'd seen a couple of those floating about before I made this. I think I played this maybe a few handful of times, 6 times. Maybe 4-2 wins. Granted, I was sort of floating between UB2 and UB3, but I had fun with this. I like this as a deck. I had more fun with this than the Buzzwole deck. Maybe that was because of the freaking going first so many times with
Nah,
Buzzwole,
for
but
sure, for sure, for sure.
this was fun. Yeah, as you said though, it gets smashed by Solgaleo.
All right, here we go to the next deck I have here. Okay. Why am I not surprised? Valley of Cats. That's another
Yeah, yeah.
Silvally. It's not a Silvally deck, guys. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure this
off,
episode is going to have to be
off.
called the Silvally episode or
Yeah,
something.
off meta or Silvally meta. Oh my
It
god.
is.
I kid you not, guys. This is also my first time looking at all these decks. I just blindfolded myself, saved all the images, and I didn't expect there to be. I mean, expecting, yes, actually seeing it in practice is a bit surprising. But go on, walk us through this again. What do we have? I think this is better because it does. I think the previous few decks had EXs, so you're screwed if you start the EX because you're when you run an EX deck, you want to lose your points 1-1-2, and if you start your EX, you lose them 2-1, which is game. So
Yeah.
I feel like a non-EX deck forces them to get no matter which way you draw, they still have to knock out 3, which is why Ramp Valley is doing quite well, right? Or
Yeah.
Blacephalon Valley is doing well. And also when you play Soul Nautic, you want to force them to knock out 2 Soul Galeos instead of 1 Shinotic, 1 Soul Galeo. But no, let me know how this goes. I don't see Erica, so I don't know how this deck does, because what you could do is when you if you start Sprigatito, and then you get damaged and your Silvally is ready to push, you bring it out of the active spot. You can use your Erica to heal the Meowscarada in the bench, and that still procs Silvally for 100, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does. I mean, maybe I should put an Erica in this deck.
Because maybe
I
maybe
like the
you
red
maybe you don't
though.
Cyrus. Maybe you don't need Cyrus because the way I see it, you're not relying on bench, because the way the meta is right now, they are not really putting anything with damage on the bench, especially with ramp value, right? You're just letting your opponents take 1 point after the other after the other.
You're not wrong. I mean, I guess this deck, you kind of want to just one shot things with Meowscarada and Silvally. So maybe I should for an Erica. I tend to just kind of chuck Cyrus into every deck I use because bringing something off the bench to win the game is just it can be so clutch. In like what like over 50% of matches that can just finish the game. But yeah, Erica again, stopping that happening to me could be more important. You are right. My thought with this one was, well, Silvally works really well because it's deck thinning with Gladion. Why not deck thin with my Sprigatito as well? So get all the grass cards in my hand, get the 2 Silver Valleys in my hand. But there's 2 major things that I was having issues with this deck. Everybody is running Mars and Red Card. Well, maybe not Red Card as much, but Mars. So I'd fill my hand up and then it would just get thrown in the bin. So that wasn't great. And then Fire decks just destroy this, obviously.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
you come across Stokesard, and
yeah,
then you're like,
Stokesard had
you don't have
just dominated this deck.
you don't
I
have
did
enough.
beat, I think. I did beat a Stokesard once with this deck, but yeah.
Are we ready to go on to the next deck that I have here? It is. Oh, this is interesting. Uh,
Hmm.
Guzzlord Solgaleo.
Yeah. This was the deck that I wanted to build when the trailer for this set was released. I thought, oh, okay, cool. We've got a basic card, a basic EX that has 170 health, and then we've also got a EX card that can jump in and ignore the retreat cost of Guzzlord. Thinking this could be really cool. Unfortunately, I was completely wrong in my assessment of Guzzlord when they released the set or released the trailer, in that it is not a very good card because there's just so many counters to it. I think I've only played this deck like twice and lost both games. It's just Guzzlord isn't as good as I wanted it to be. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I would say with this, there's no way to get your Solgaleo out. If you start Guzzlord, you're kind of screwed with it if you don't pull your Cosmoem or Cosmog or Rare Candies.
Yeah.
Because even with Shinotic in my Soul Nordic deck, there are games where I will not pull anything Solgaleo, even after two Pokeballs, after two Profs, after they have masked me, after I've shuffled my deck with Shinotic a couple of times. There are chances where I don't get my Shinotic, I don't get my Solgaleo, and it's going to only be worse when you have a Guzzlord because if you don't get your stuff, you lose 2 points for no reason.
Exactly. So I can tell you exactly why this deck doesn't work.
Go on.
Solgaleo thrives off of quick battles, getting him out as quickly as possible and just hitting your opponent. Guzzlord thrives off of slowing things down with Grindcore. They do not match well together.
Yeah, no, it's like
or
it's like night and day, right? Like Guzzlord and
yeah,
Solgaleo, night and day. Quite literally, like Guzzlord is like this dark matter in space and everything,
yeah.
and Solgaleo is the sun. So like they're quite literally opposites.
Yeah, I thought I could slow things down and try and get my Solgaleos online with Grindcore, using that Team Rocket grunt every turn could be really beneficial. But Shinotic is just so much better at getting Solgaleo online that it's just pointless to run this deck. Don't do it.
All right. On that note, let's see. I think I've got a few more. Uh, First of all, love the name. I already
Yep,
know the
yep, yep.
concept of this deck, and I think it works because you're forcing more energy that in turn indirectly powers up your Tapu Lele. Probably the one thing you'd struggle with is not drawing into your Stout Land, but then again, if you get with two Pokeballs, right, you're probably unless you don't get Giratina to. I think this could work. Definitely helps Tapulele, to get more damage onto your thing because with Giratina 5 energy, you two shot it right because 100 plus 100.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything else that is high energy because Solgaleo's 2 energy, Silvally 2 energy, Ramp 1 energy. Dark Tina is probably the only thing this is a favorable matchup to. Am I missing anything meta at the
yeah,
moment? Because I
yeah.
think
Darktina.
Buzzwole is 3, right? Maybe Buzzwole you
Yeah,
might do well into, but this definitely is the most meta deck that I've seen that you've made off the off meta stuff. I feel like this could work the best.
yeah. I think I built this like right when the set came out because I got Stoutland real quick. And looking at it now, there's a couple of things I'd probably change. I played maybe 3 games of this one. I think I lost all of them, but they were all fun games. That doesn't. I'm not saying that this is a bad deck. I mean, it could be, but I'd get rid of the Repel. Repel hasn't really been that great this set because of Silvally. And then maybe getting rid of the Giratina for an Oricorio Psychic or something like that, because Giratina, you want to be using Broken Space Bellow, but then the other cards in this deck, they
You,
want to be getting online and hitting
yeah,
quickly, like
and you
Tapu
need to
Lele and
attack, right?
Stoutland.
You need to attack as
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, it doesn't really vibe too well,
But
but it is cool.
the one thing I would say about these off meta decks and anybody watching and listening, you could try them all because I'm a believer that most decks constructed well, and we know Sam constructs decks where he knows how to make decks. So basically, if you know how to make a deck, right, and you cover your bases and think about the supporters you need, almost every deck, I say almost because there could be a few that don't get you there. Most decks, if you know how to build and you know your basics and you know how this game works, can and will get you to Master Ball. It's just how quickly that they will get you there is the question.
Yeah.
I think
You
every well constructed deck probably gets you to Master Ball. It's just whether you take 5 games or 500 games.
Yeah, it's how much are you willing to grind? And as it gets closer and closer to the next set coming out and this season of ranked getting over, I probably lean more and more towards using more meta decks because I need to climb quicker, right?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
I have 2 other decks that you told me that you haven't you built, but you haven't really had much experience with. So this is the first one, Jump Blues, aptly
Yes.
named. Uh, I think this. I think I've seen decks like this running around. The one change I would make right off the bat would be get the regular Decidui to do because it's your inbuilt Oricorio counter, right? Uh, because
True.
with Jump Blues pinging the Oricorio in the bench for 20, and then Decidui doing 70, you get past Cape Oricorio as well.
But Oricorio, no one's really using it that much this set or this season. I haven't really seen too much of
Oh,
Oricorio.
my
It's like
Soul
one
Nordic
in.
loses to it. So I think yesterday alone, I think I lost 10 times yesterday, and 5 of them were to Oricorio.
Okay, maybe it is running around a bit more than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I could try that. I don't know what I'd get rid of. Maybe,
The other Decidui EX, you just need one, right?
yeah, and I'd
Or
maybe
if
get
you
rid of
want,
Cyrus. I don't know why I've got that there.
yeah, no, Cyrus, yeah, Cyrus is not necessary. So what you could do is you could just remove Cyrus because you have an inbuilt Cyrus. You got double Cyruses, right?
Yeah,
Uh, because you got Decidui, regular Decidui. Pheromosa is also technically a weaker Cyrus because you can do 20 on the bench. But yeah, no, I think as much as we put this in the off meta section, this is probably a very, very good deck to use.
yeah. I'm excited to try this one out. The Cyrus is in there literally because I'm just so. I just throw it into every deck I use. I'm
Yeah,
just like
because why
Cyrus,
wouldn't
Cyrus,
you?
Cyrus. I
You
don't
have a
think about it.
2-star version of it. Like, why wouldn't you use
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So yeah,
Uh, I've
a
got
couple
a
changes, but it looks fun.
yeah. This is probably the most meta off meta deck that you have ever built. Uh, but yeah, and this is the final deck of this section. Okay, it's named another Silvally deck. This is also another deck you said that you didn't try out. Um, Let me see really quickly. I don't know how this works because let's say you start Guzzlord. What are you doing with that? It just sits there
Yeah,
because
you just grindcore. You just you slow
but
your opponent down as much as you can.
but but isn't Guzzlord's thing to be on the bench?
Nah. Guzzlord wants to slow things down with grindcore. That's how I see it being used, but that is also why I've never used this deck because it's not good.
Like
I
you
was
got
trying to find a way to use them,
like
and this isn't it.
if you start Guzzlord, like what are you first of all, going first and starting Guzzlord is a nightmare because you're already behind and then you need 2 energy just to do 30. Like
It's bad. All right, I admit it. Don't use
like
this deck.
oh my god. I'm getting nightmares of Guzzlord sitting in the active, going first, and then you can't attach energy to it. And then so what, turn 1, turn 3, you can do okay, I'll let me paint you a picture here. Starting Guzzlord, going first, turn 5 of the game is when you can finally attack for 30, and then you flip tails, and your opponent already has 2 energy on them. That's a Sol Galeo ready to do 120, by the way, by your turn 5. Just putting that out
No,
there.
no, 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 no. Because if you put your Guzzlord in the active spot
Okay.
and you power it up with 2 energy,
Yep.
then you can stop Solgaleo doing anything by getting really lucky.
I'll tell you this, alright? Turn 1, Guzzlord. Then turn 2, Cosmog, right? Turn 3, Guzzlord with 1 energy, right?
Yep.
Turn 4, Rare Candy, Solgaleo, 2 energy, 120. Your Guzzlord is down to 50. Turn
Yeah,
5.
but then
Yeah, go on.
Grindcore, hit your
No, turn 5
Solgaleo
is
for
when you
30,
do.
flip 2 heads, you've got no more energy on your Solgaleo. Now what are you doing?
Oh my god. Even if you flip, you need 2 heads. Because even if you flip 1, they attach
25%
energy.
chance.
They attach energy again and then swing for 120. Yeah, you know what? I don't like this deck. I'm
Yeah, we'll
sorry.
delete it. We'll
Yeah.
delete it. I'm going to build some kind of. I was going to say Guzzlord, Wheezing, Silvally deck, but that's bad. I might just stop trying to make Guzzlord work and put a Wheezing Silvally deck, which I've just kind of been thinking about
No,
while we've been talking
Guzzlord
about
can
this.
work. This is just not it.
Yeah,
Guzzlord,
Guzzlord works with Nihilego and Naganadel, but that's boring. I've seen that in the ladder. I want to build something that I've come up with.
yeah, no, fair enough. All right, so that is the last of the decks. I'm gonna get all the decks off now. But that
Yeah.
is that. I hope you enjoyed the off meta section because I feel like the last few times we've been talking about everything like, oh yeah, this meta, reviewing this deck, that deck. I figure we just have a discussion on crazy, wacky Sam builds. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, no, that was no joke. That was a lot of fun for me to go through because that was also the first time of me seeing most of these decks. As you can see, I feel quite strongly about that Guzzlord deck. Like, oh my god.
It was great fun talking about how stupid I am.
No. You had some great decks like the Jump Blues deck that would work, and
Mhm.
then Gus Valley.
Yeah, we won't talk about Gus Valley anymore. Let's move
Yeah.
on.
So Sam's spoken about his ranked experience. My ranked experience has been running mainly three meta decks: Buzzwole, Ramp Valley, and Soul Nordic. And I could not win with Buzzwole. I was getting quite unlucky with Ramp Valley. I've just sat in my happy space with Soul Nordic. Soul Galeo Shinotic, by the way, it's one of the decks in the previous podcast that we discussed. I
Mhm.
would like to retract my statement on Shinotic on how you could never fit four cards into it. It has been the most fun, and I have climbed pretty much, I think, into Master Ball with the next another couple of hours of ranked. I will get into Master Ball with that deck. I would like to formally retract my statement on not being able to fit Shinotic and how it won't do well in this meta. I retract my statement.
You have been converted into a true mushroom believer.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So that's been my ranked experience. I would say this season, uh, it's been a lot of 50. Like, yes, I see the same four decks over and over again, but it's been more fun, at least for me. I've had a lot more fun because I feel like there's a lot more decks that I'm. Yes, there's four, but four is better than a particular Dark Tina. Just Dark Tina,
Yeah.
Dark Tina, Dark Tina. Four decks is better than one deck, and you can see a lot of variety of them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of variety,
I feel like this
for
season
sure.
has been the best. We could have. There's also not, and also there's not just been an Oricorio counter. Like I've seen Zero Aura Zone, Zero Aura Oricorio, Zero Aura Ramp Valley. So not Ramp Valley, Zero Aura Valley, Sard Valley. I've just seen a lot of decks this season, and it's just been a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the last couple seasons has been like it's Dark Tina, and then it's the counters to Dark Tina. This season, it's like here's like three decks, and then there's a bunch of counters to the specific decks, but they don't work as well into this and then that. It's kind of like a game of rock paper scissors, but with way more options.
Not Dark Tina beats you. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I was just gun.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you will be probably super excited with Dark Tina no longer being a thing. But like I
Yeah.
said, Dark Tina, as much as it gets you wins, right? You can misplay it really badly. Like, don't put your supporter, don't power up your Giratina, push your Giratina too early, don't have patience, put the energy on the wrong Darkrai, and also famously broken space bellowing when you're supposed to attack. I've never done that. Uh,
Couldn't be you.
oh my god! That broken space bellow haunts me to this day. Broken space bellow, Nah, let's not go there. Oh my god!
Jeez.
Uh,
Oh man.
but yeah, that's my. Do you have anything to add on your rank experience this season?
I think I need to get into the grind a bit more before I truly comment on it because I haven't pretty much. I've literally since the start of this season just floated between low UB3 and UB2.
I
Haven't really
mean,
made any progress.
that works. That works because you're having fun, right?
Yeah,
And then we had like eight
mm,
decks where I could just go through and give you a hard time for that.
yeah. I mean, I
Oh.
was having fun until I streamed it and flipped heads 8 times in a row. Then I was just done with
You know
it.
what's funny though? When you run Celebi, you will never flip heads 8 times in a row.
True.
Yeah, and then
Very true.
when you want to start the turn, you will always flip heads, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
I
yeah,
love
so if you've got nothing to add, something interesting that we could just quickly touch up on is what I was thinking, and I've sent you a couple of messages about it. Is first two seasons of ranked, there were a couple of meta decks. We don't see those meta decks anymore. Off the top of my head, the Gyarados deck that I used in season one to get me to UB4, you don't see it anymore. Um, can you think of any other decks that you don't really see in the meta anymore?
We don't see any Mewtwo. Mewtwo is just gone. They tried to power it up in the last set with Lunala, but didn't really work.
You don't see
What else
Celebi.
have we not seen? Celebi, yeah, Celebi's gone with the wind.
But was Celebi ever
Even
meta though? I think
yeah, Celebi was
Celebi
massively
was
meta.
before ranked, so we don't really have a
Oh,
meta,
true,
right? Yeah.
true. Again, Celebi kind of got a power up last set with Superior getting rare candied, but no one really tried it out. Or people did try it, but I don't think it did very, very well um, because of SR Charizard just whomping it.
Yeah, no.
Um, what else? We had Pikachu from the first set.
Genetic
That was
Apex
like,
Charizard has no longer. I mean, I know some people will run it, some people will get to Master Ball with it, but what I'm saying is we don't see it often enough, right? With the Moltres ramping up the Charizard. And like Sam said, Pikachu is just does not hold up in the meta. 90,
no,
only if you have a full bench of electric Pokemon. And yeah, with all the bench
it's not it.
snipers, yeah, like it's kind of sad to see all those decks drop off because they never even had a chance to shine in ranked, right? They were all before ranked, so we don't even know how they would have done in a ranked scenario.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
Rampardos would have killed Pikachu though.
Oh, true. Very true. Yeah.
Anything
Poor
else that
Pikachu. Pikachu.
yeah, what has had the biggest fall off is definitely Gyarados and Water decks. I definitely think that has fallen off a bit. Like early pocket days, you see a Misty and you would go crazy. You'd see Articuno 18 trainers. You don't really see much Misty and water types anymore, do you?
No, no one's bothering running it anymore. I think it's just too reliant on RNG, right? The misty coin flips, and that none of them are really strong enough to hold up in the meta.
Yeah, no, for
I
sure.
mean, you could potentially get a Magikarp turn 1, turn 3, evolve it into Gyarados, and flip 4 heads, and then you would do pretty. But that's unlikely.
Yeah, no, I think Gyarados requiring 4 energy in a meta where Solgaleo can attack you for 2 for 20 HP less with rare candy kind of killed Gyarados. I loved running
Yeah.
Gyarados. It's my first ever experience with ranked was running Gyarados. But yeah, I think water types have just I don't know, they gave it a lot, but I haven't seen I'm yet to see a water type deck this season do well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was part of the reason I made that Crabominable deck. I was like, surely there's some kind of water card that can do all right. It
Yeah,
doesn't
even
really.
Palkia. Palkia was it before? I think Palkia was just in the start of ranked, but also didn't have time to shine because
Yeah, it
again,
worked okay with Manaphy, but I think Gyarados outshone it with that situation
yeah, Blastoise worked well for a bit, but I think yeah, for sure. When I'm talking about meta decks and no longer meta, I think water has had the biggest fall off.
for sure. I mean, I like it though because water was like the main thing everyone was using before ranked came out, and just in the first season of ranked as well, it was quite prominent. But then the Deno was like, all right, let's try pushing some other types. Let's get people to use steel, fire, and all this other types. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Steel
I
is
like it.
crazy. Like remember when Dialga came out? You wanted to run Dialga, but you just couldn't. And I think
No,
now I'm sure you can find some wacky off meta way to make Dialga work. I'm surprised there was no Dialga Silvally in this list, to be honest. But
true.
yeah, no.
Dialga Rayquaza? New meta? Question mark? Absolutely.
I seen Zero Aura Rayquaza pop up as the new meta, but I don't know how that works.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could get at least one extra energy on Rayquaza doing that with the electrical cord, but it's not 4 energy, unfortunately.
No, for sure. For sure. And yeah, that is that I think about I think I have nothing more to add for today. Do you have anything else that you want to add on?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, that brings us
I think
to
I'm good.
the end of another episode of I'm good. I would say Chai Tea podcast, but this was basically Silvally or bust. I tell you,
Yeah.
I don't think I saw anything else. And then me just getting traumatized by Guzzlord and Guzzlord Valley. Yeah. No, I've got nothing else to say. What about you, Sam?
Oh, so Valley, I love you, bud. I'm gonna use you till the end of time, until the next set comes out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right then. Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the podcast. Do let us know what you thought of all the off-meta decks that we showcased today. Tell Sam that he is the king of the off-meta, and that will motivate him to bring you more decks like this. Because I can't do this. I might have the creativity, but there's no fun in me in playing off-meta, and he absolutely enjoys it. So thank you for listening. Tell Sam he's the king of the off-meta. And anything to
Yeah.
add, Sam?
Yeah, in the comments down below, let us know which of my off-meta decks you like the most and which you hated the most, and we know that's obviously Guz Valley.
Guzzlord
Make sure to
Silver
leave a like
Valley.
as well.
Yeah.
Likes help us out, and obviously sub. That would be amazing. We'd really appreciate that.
All right. And until next time, I'll catch you guys then. Bye.
Peace.